Welcome to Dropout 22, a GB media production. Ahead of Wales' three-test tour to New Zealand and ahead of England's three-test tour to Australia, the boys are back. It's going to be Belter. Welcome aboard. We are without Patrick Andrews tonight, who is on family duties. So joining me on the phone from South Africa is Jimbo Muir. We've also got Will Corsie joining us on the phone, and we've got Welsh touch rugby hero Guy Griffiths. It's been a while, ladies and gents, but we are back and we're going to discuss all things rugby. We're going to dip into the Euros, and we've got a belting Corsie's quiz. Gentlemen, welcome back to Dropout 22. It's been a while. Jimbo, how are we over in South Africa?
Very well, mate. Very well. Good to be back on the show.
Pleasure to have you, emerging star of the year. Guy, thank you for joining us from outside a travel tavern in Leeds, is it?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
The Northern Alan Partridge. And William Corsie joining us from the deep southwest. How are we, pal?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Awesome. So, the summer tours are ahead of us, boys. They are on the weekend. Wales 3 tests against New Zealand, and England 3 tests against Australia as another motorbike whizzes past in Leeds. Guy, what do you make of Wales' chances down in New Zealand?
It's going to be seriously tough to get a result. As we all know, we haven't beaten them in 50 years, let alone beating them at home. So I think winning the 3 tests will be a monumental achievement in the first instance. Based on the team we've picked, we've obviously tried to match them with a bit more speed. Really, we've gone with Mellon and Ken Owens in the front row. Gone away from the size of Rob Evans and Baldwin to start with. So you can see what we're trying to do. I don't think we've got the players to actually beat them in that kind of game. I think the actual way we should have actually gone about it was try and beat them up as England have done plenty of times over the last 10 years. I'm hopeful for the first test because they're all back to being together for 7 days. No matter how good they are, you're still going to be a bit ring rusty. The second and third test may be a different matter though. I think we may have a couple of wallopings. But I am hopeful for this Saturday.
Jimbo, your Kiwi team is very, very different to that won the World Cup a mere couple of months ago. But have you got the ammo to beat Wales 3-0 in this Test series?
Yeah, I think so. As you mentioned, very different outlook on the team. I think actually it'll be a very close series. I think we'll win all 3, but it won't be complete whitewash. I think the Welsh midfield is very good and against a very inexperienced midfield and what we've got. I think you'll target those channels quite a bit and have a bit of success. So looking forward to it. It's always good playing the Welsh. We'll see how we go.
Now, Guy alluded to it earlier. We've never ever beaten you in New Zealand. I think the last time we beat you in a Test match, full stop, was back in 1953. I think it was. Guy, is that right?
Yeah.
So, what has to change for this? Well, for history to rewrite itself? How do Wales get a win out in New Zealand?
Well, we're going to have to play pretty poorly, and they're going to have a very good game. As was, it could happen. We've only been together for 7 days with a new look side, and Wales on the back of a few tests, so they'll be raring to go, and we'll probably be a bit rusty first test. So yeah, I think the first test will be the toughest for us to get through. And then from there we should build and hopefully look to comfortably win the next 2.
Jimbo, you've got no Nonu, no Carter, no McCall. Give us an idea of a couple of the new faces, a couple of the new names we should be looking out for in this Kiwi team.
Yeah, some pretty big names that are no longer present. I don't know if you guys get to see much of the Super Rugby, a guy called Adi Savir. He's actually Julian Savir's brother. He's going to be a superstar. He's still young. I think he's 20, 21. He's on the bench. He's looking to get his debut this weekend. So he's one to look out for. Tiki Toa, he's been around for a while now. A little bit hit and miss in his previous test matches. But he's got the potential to light it up. If we get some good front foot ball, which we normally do.
Yeah, I caught him against. I caught Sevilla against in the Canes Highlanders game, and he was an absolute freak of a bloke, and could cause some serious trouble to that Welsh back row guy that's been depleted by injuries. Dan Lydia out, Sam Warburton not 100% fit, and Justin Tipperick out indefinitely, really, with his concussion scare. Is that a worry for us, or have we got a like for like in Ross Moriarty?
I don't think it is a worry. I think our back row is one of our strongest assets, to be honest. I think the only one we really need to worry about losing is Toby, really. I think Ross Moriarty is going to shine in this Test series, even against an All Blacks who are undoubtedly the best sports team on the planet. I think Sam Cane has been talked up far too much. I don't see what 99% of the pundits see in him. I think what Jimbo said about Adi Savir is spot on. I think he's head and shoulders better than him. Age is just a number, and I think Sam Cane's days are numbered. I think we can exploit it. I think we've got a better 7. I think we've got a on par 8, and I think Ross Moriarty's going to shock a few people. So our back row is definitely not a worry for me.
But the loss to England a couple of weeks ago now must be still a bit of a worry.
Yeah, but we are shit first up every time.
It's very true. It's very true. Very true. The one gripe I had before the tour was about the selection. The fact that we're going in it with just the one open side. Is that still an issue for you, or would you like to see Wales try and batter the All Blacks into submission as opposed to trying to play around them?
I'd like to see us play around. However, I don't think we've necessarily got players 1 to 15. Ellis Jenkins is on the bench, which is a massive positive because anyone who's watched the Blues this year, watching Warburton play 6 and Ellis play 7, and even Naridi play an 8, it just works for the simple reason that they are both incredible athletes and incredible players. And in modern rugby, it's very, very few 7s who have to link the game these days. The 7 is there to be destructive. You look at Pocock. Pocock's not there to create anything. He's there to make a mess. And I think putting 2 of them on the field at the same time, maybe Ellis coming on for Moriarty at 60, might cause the All Blacks a bit of a problem. We speak about it as if the All Blacks are invincible. They are first up at the end of the day. We're terrible first up. The All Blacks aren't superhuman. They are still human beings. It's going to be incredibly tough, but I'm hopeful for this Saturday. The Saturdays after, as I mentioned, not so much, but this Saturday I think we'll do very, very well. Not necessarily win, but we will shock a few people with our performance.
An intriguing test ahead of us, and I cannot wait for it. I'm really, really holding out hope that we can break that. Who knows? Why not? You know, there's as everyone has pointed out, there's never a better time to play the All Blacks, even though there is never a good time to play them. But there we go. But sadly, this massive 3-tour test and England's 3-tour test to Australia is eclipsed by the fact that the Euros start on Friday, and that is where we're going to go for turnover ball. Now, in absence of Pat, who is down in, I think he's in Staffordshire with his family. We were expecting Pat and his dad on the show tonight, but unfortunately there's no signal where they're having food. What are they having? Beans on toast, probably. Getting to know the local cuisine. So, boys, turnover ball. Corsie, what do you make of England's chances going into the Euros?
If we didn't have to start with Rooney, I reckon we could maybe get semi-final. I think it's achievable. Unfortunately, Rooney's the captain, so you've got to play him at the moment. But I think I'd like to start with Vardy, Kane, and Rashford up front, going just all out, see if we can score more, because you're going to definitely score against us, so see if we can score more than they can.
I think that's a problem, isn't it? If you look at England's midfielders and attacking players, they are, they're as good as really as anyone in the competition. It's at the back that they are gonna come unstuck. So I tend to agree with you, to be honest. What would your formation be? So you mentioned the three up top. Are you playing two in behind those, one holding, or what?
Yeah, I'd have four at the back, safety. And then I'd have
Safety first, then
midfielder, what's the name? The guy from Tottenham. Give me the D, I think.
Dyer. Eric Dyer.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Him holding. And then you got your two other, just your passers. You can even put Rooney in that sort of position if you wanted to, because you're going to have him in the team. But I think I'll put a little cheeky bet down for Kane to be golden boot of the tournament.
Yeah.
You never know.
What else did you get on that?
I think it was 8-1 when I put it on. 7-1.
Nice.
Cheeky
nice.
tenner.
Cheeks
Yeah,
turn. Massive group, and a huge day next Thursday when Wales take on England. Now, potentially 3 teams could qualify from our group. So you've got Wales, you've got England, you've got Russia, you've got Slovakia. There's no reason, Guy, why Wales can't qualify from that, is there?
No reason at all. I think we've got the second best player in the tournament playing for us. So why not? We do rely on him massively, but if you look at that England team, do they have a superstar necessarily? Do they have a out-and-out world class? Even though, as Corsie alluded to, they've got some serious talent up front. Do they have anyone of his caliber who can win games on their own? Probably not. All it's going to take is him to turn up in the form of his life, as he has done for Wales plenty of times. And we might shock him next Thursday. It's in a small stadium. England aren't necessarily going to overawe us. We've got the boy playing, and who knows? I got my fingers crossed.
I won't go that far. It's not a Rugby World Cup. Come on, guy.
We have got Gareth Davies, and he is a one-man team. So
Yeah, he's all right against Bosnia or someone like that. But,
he's got the Champions League final.
yeah, so is someone like, what's his name? He's a crap player who's won it. There's loads of crap people have won stuff, haven't they? I'm not saying he's crap, he's alright.
He's alright, there you go. You heard it here first. Gareth Bale, according to William Corsie, he's alright. We'll get that one in a nice quote. That'll make a nice motivational poster. I think, Wales have lost their last 3. They haven't won in 7 games. Well, they've won 1 in their last 7, sorry. So I think, that there's a bit of a situation where we're just glad to be there. It's our first major tournament for decades. It's just like we're there for the party, like the Irish have been all their lives, really, in football tournaments. I mean, it's a massive achievement, even though the goalposts have been changed qualification-wise. It's a massive achievement for the Welsh squad to have even made it this far. But with the top 2 teams in each pool qualifying for the last 16, plus the best 4 third placed in the groups. I mean, there is a real chance of us making the knockout stages. And as Guy said, with the second best player in the tournament on our side, there is absolutely no reason why not. Now, Jimbo, this is football, so imagine a rugby ball and squeeze them on both ends to make it nice and round. And what you're looking to do is kick it in the goal instead of over the posts. South Africa hosted the World Cup in 2010. Is there still football fever down there, down in that part of the world?
Yeah, look, I mean, you hear a lot about it. The Premier League is a lot of English expats over there, so I still follow it. But I think England have got no pressure on them. People are used to them losing now, so I mean, people expect them to lose now almost. So they could shock a few people. Maybe semi-final. Wales, I mean, I've heard only half the team had passports. So, I mean, it's the first time leaving the country. To see how they go. But it's good for them to be there, like you say, in Northern Ireland. So the whole nation's represented. Should be good.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, what's the scene like? I know you've been playing a fair bit of football. I know you were when you were out in Bali, back in New Zealand. What's the football scene out in New Zealand?
Oh, well, actually, funny you say, we've just made the final of the Confederations Cup. We're playing Papua New Guinea later on in the weekend, which will be an interesting game.
So, Corsie, big question. Well, first of all, have you put a wager on who's going to win it outright?
I've gone sentimental with England, but I have no hope or faith in that whatsoever.
So, if you had to put your left bollock on the line, who would you go with? Who's going to win it?
I got a safe bet with Germany. They always do good in tournaments.
Very nice, very nice. Jimbo, what do you reckon?
I quite like France.
Nice. I was going to go France, home advantage. They're playing nicely. You got Pogba there. All right, just to mix it up, I will go with the Italians. Come under the radar a little bit. Always nice and solid at the back. Not got much going up front, but I think in these tournaments, defences always wins you. Always takes you further than your attack. Don't you agree, gents?
I do.
Yeah.
Good stuff. And talking about defences, we will flip over to discuss England. Now, Corsie, England down in Australia. How do you fancy your chances down under?
It's going to be close, but I reckon I'll go 2-1 Australia. Purely because home advantage.
Which test do you reckon you'll win?
I don't know. It'll either be first or last, I think.
So you're coming off the back of a Grand Slam. Still pains me to say it, but why aren't you going into this one more confidently? I mean, you've beaten the Aussies plenty of times in the past. You've beaten them in their own backyard to win the World Cup not long ago. I mean, why aren't you going down there with too much optimism?
It's like I say, it's first tournament. I think we're going to get properly tested by a team that are better than us and are more together than us. Jones has been with the squad now. He's had the squad for a while, but he's still unsure of his best side. Let's be fair. The team we put out is good, is young, it's built for the future. But I think this will show the sort of character of the team of how they're going to have to develop over the next couple of years, ready for the next World Cup. No one wants to peak too early, do they?
No, exactly. Jimbo, what do you reckon? You see the Aussies more than we do. Do you reckon they've got enough firepower to dismiss England?
Oh, it pains me to say it. I'd love England to win, but yeah, I think they do. I think they just a little bit faster the game plan. They exposed England to the World Cup and made them look silly, really. So different team, different English side, different coach, but I think they'll have too much at home.
Did you see much of Tio when he was over there?
Yeah, I used to see him a little bit in the rugby league ranks. I didn't even know he went to England. I didn't even know he was playing Union. So I mean, he must have been going all right, has he?
Yeah, he's been playing over in Ireland. He's been doing all right. I mean, I think there's plenty of players that can feel pretty aggrieved that they've been, shunned for him.
What position do they have him playing?
They've got him playing in the centre, but I mean, Danny Cipriani's pretty unlucky to miss out on squads all the time. But he with the way that Eddie Jones likes to utilise Owen Farrell at 12, then he can count himself pretty unlucky. And there's plenty of other centres sort of playing their trade quite nicely in the English Premiership that have.
Thought they would have learnt their lesson with the old Burgess rugby league convert to centre.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? You'd think so, but it is the RFU. They are the gift that just keep giving. So 2-1 for you, Corsie. What do you reckon? Is it going to be 2-1, or are they going to get the whitewash, Jimbo?
No, I think it'll be 2-1. I think England will win the first test.
England first test, 2-1. What about the... Corsie, I didn't ask you about Wales, New Zealand. What do you reckon?
3-0, easy.
3-0 easy. Score predictions?
Wales will score first, 5 points, and then New Zealand will win 38-5 first game.
Jimbo, what do you reckon? How close is it going to be this weekend?
Well, I hope it's 38-5, but I think it might be a bit closer as we hit our straps. I reckon 25-15 All Blacks.
And the England game?
That's always a low scoring affair when England's involved, isn't it? So it's probably going to be about 15-9.
Oh, loving it. Sticking the boot in when he's miles and miles and miles away. Beautiful. We will finish this week, boys, on Corsie's quiz. You may be wondering where Guy has gone to. You know as much as we do.
Got hit by a car that went past
the last exactly smashed by a car. Is he alive? Well, who knows? But
you'll find out next week.
Exactly. Tune in next week to find out. But for now, Leeds has him now. Corsie's quiz. I've gone... Corsie, you know how much I love a stat.
Yep.
It's very, very stat heavy this week. And we are playing bigger, smaller, or the same size.
Oh, nice.
So, first up, we have got Richie McCaw against Sam Warburton. Now, is Sam Warburton bigger, smaller, or the same size as Richie McCaw? Now we're talking height. Jimbo, what do you reckon? Who's tall?
Sam Warburton is taller or bigger.
You reckon Sam Warburton's taller? Corsie, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm going bigger.
You're going Sam Warburton is bigger than Richie McCaw. I can reveal that Richie McCaw is 188 centimetres. That is 6'2".
Is he that big?
And Sam Warburton is 188 centimetres. 6'2". Dead heat. So that's 0-0. We will go now into the second row. And we will start with Ireland's Devin Toner. You both familiar with Devin Toner?
Yeah.
And he is up against Wales's Luke Charteris. Now, is Devin Toner bigger, smaller, or the same size as Luke Charteris? Corsie, we'll start with you.
Smaller.
You reckon Devin Toner is smaller than Luke Charteris? Jimbo, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I seem to remember watching a game where the commentator said that Wales had the two tallest lots in world rugby, so I'll say that.
So you were also going Devin Toner smaller than Luke Charteris. I can reveal that Luke Charteris is 2 metres and 9 centimetres. That is 6'10.5". Devin Toner is 2 metres 10 centimetres, 6'10 and 2/3. So Devin Toner is bigger than Luke Charteris, both on 0 points, boys. Right, we'll go to England now. Corsie, this is your time to shine, sunshine.
I'm all about it.
Let's go. We're going into the second row again. We're going George Cruz against Maro Itoje. Is George Cruz, Corsie, bigger, smaller, or the same size as Maro Itoje?
Smaller.
You've gone George Cruz smaller than Maro Itoje. Jimbo, what do you reckon?
We've got to make a game for it. I'll go bigger.
He's going bigger. I can reveal, gents, that George Cruz is 198 centimetres. That is 6'5.95". Maro Itoje, 195 centimetres, 6'3.39". So George Cruz is bigger than Maro Itoje, and Jimbo has taken a late lead with 1 to play. Now we've got two legends of the game over here. We've got Brian O'Driscoll up against Johnny Wilkinson. Is Brian O'Driscoll bigger, smaller, or the same size as Johnny Wilkinson, Jimbo?
He's smaller.
You reckon Brian O'Driscoll is smaller than Johnny Wilkinson? Corsie, what are you saying? To stay alive.
He's bigger.
He's bigger. I can reveal.
4 foot nothing, sure of it.
Brian O'Driscoll is 78 centimetres. 178 centimetres. That is 5'10". Great size. Johnny Wilkinson is 170 8 centimetres, 5'10". They're exactly the same height. So our winner this week is Jimbo Muir, the emerging star of the year, with 1 out of 3, and Corsie's quiz in his own game is 0 from 4. Very well played, gents. Well, actually, no, you're both crap, but good fun all the same. Boys, enjoy the games on the weekend, enjoy the football. We'll have a little catch-up next week. You lot at home, thank you very much for joining us again. We have been Dropout 22, a GD Media production.